Alright friends, this train is ready to depart, so please remain seated, keeping all arms, feet, and legs inside the train at all times. Please supervise your children and keep them away from train openings. Our next stop is Northern Square Station. Once again friends, please remain seated.
Welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. We're embarking on a grand circle tour of the Magic Kingdom. We'll be stopping at New Orleans Square, Mickey's Toontown, and Tomorrowland. We'll also visit the Grand Canyon and make a trip back in time to the Primeval World and the Age of the Dinosaurs before returning to Main Street Station. As we begin our journey, remember that for a safe trip, you need to stay seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your children.
Bienvenidos a bordo del Disneyland Railroad. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
Our first stop is New Orleans Square Station. But to get there, we need to pass through the wilds of Adventureland. It may seem peaceful through here, but trust me, it's a real jungle out there. Literally. So be on the lookout. You just never know what might be lurking along the rails. Just ahead is New Orleans Square Station. This station also serves Frontierland and Critter Country. If you'll be leaving us here, please remain seated until the train comes to a complete stop. Then watch your step as you're getting off. For those of you continuing on with us, we'll be resuming our trip.
Welcome to New Orleans Square Station, friends. Please remain seated. The train comes to a complete and full stop. We're looking for attractions such as Star Wars Galaxy Edge. This is your stop. If you are staying on board with us, please go all the way down to your road. Make room for new guests coming aboard. This will be a full train. Thank you. Welcome aboard, friends. Please remain seated while the train is in motion, keeping all arms, feet, and legs inside the train at all times. Please supervise your children and keep them away from train openings. Our next stop is Toontown Depot.
I'm always happy that so much cooler when you can figure it out yourself.
To those just joining us, welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. To ensure a safe ride, stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your kids.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
We're now entering the Bayou, soon to be home to Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Princess Tiana swears there's magic out here. And wherever there's magic, there's bound to be surprises. Blue skies and sunshine guaranteed. Speaking of surprises, this place we're passing over is chock full of them. Here in Critter Country, you can join Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, and other beloved critters on fun-filled adventures where anything can happen. As we steam past Hungry Bear Restaurant, the last outpost in these parts, we're now joining up with the Rivers of America and entering the frontier as it looked more than a century and a half ago. This is my favorite part of the journey. Around every bend, there's natural beauty as far as the eye can see. is the revered Indian shaman, sharing his stories with those in the great river valley below. People like you have been riding these rails since the 1800s, traveling through nature's wonderland in a matter of days, rather than the months it used to take by mule or stagecoach. Steam power not only fueled these iron horses, but the dreams of a whole new generation as it moved west into this great frontier. Of course, some of those dreams, and the stories that went with them, were pretty darn wild and downright unbelievable, like on Big Thunder Mountain, where I hear that mysterious spirits have grabbed hold of those mining trains and turned them into the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Look!
That's it. You hear it?
There's a mountain. Uh-oh.
The Matterhorn.
Why do they call it the Matterhorn?
It's named an actual mountain in Europe.
Why do they name it that?
I don't know. I don't speak. Oh, yes. I think it's
This tunnel signals our transition from the frontier to another kind of ear, the ones you'll find on Mickey and Minnie Mouse. Our next stop is Toontown Depot, official train station for Mickey's Toontown, the cartoon home where Mickey, Minnie, and all their friends live. Toontown Depot is also the gateway to Fantasyland, where you'll find many of your favorite Disney animated characters and stories.
Welcome to Toontown Depot, gateway to Fantasyland. Please wait and see when the train comes to a complete handful of stops. Enjoy attractions such as the Matterhorn, Small World, Storybook, or Mickey Beach Railway. This is your stop. If you are staying on board with us, please go down your road to make room for our new guests coming aboard. Thank you.
Mama,
Mickey's Toontown.
it's a small world.
That's where we're going, right? Yep. Then get dressed.
Alrighty, friends, this train is ready to depart, so please remain seated, keeping all arms, feet, and legs in section at all times. Please supervise your children and keep them away from train openings. Our next stop is Tomorrowland Station.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us on the Disneyland Railroad. For a safe ride, remember to stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your kids.
¿Qué tal, amigos? Y bienvenidos a bordo. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
As we leave Toontown Depot, we get a real nice view of the happiest land of them all, Fantasyland. You can see people stepping onto It's a Small World just below us. And, off in the distance, majestic Matterhorn Mountain.
What's the code? How did they get it? It must be really dangerous to do all of this.
Yeah, professional.
We're now steaming forward into the future to a land inspired by visions of tomorrow, both practical and imagined. Here you'll find rocket ships and star speeders, submarines and astroblasters, and, if you look overhead, maybe a glimpse of a Mark 7 monorail. This is the latest version of the first daily operating monorail system in the entire Western Hemisphere, gliding above Disneyland since 1959. Below the monorail, and us, are the fun-filled roadways of the Autopia. Drivers of all ages can get behind the wheel of these cars. No experience or license required. If you're into soaring spaceships, or doing battle with evil empires and emperors, Tomorrowland is definitely the place for you. Speaking of which, we're pulling into Tomorrowland Station right now. If you're leaving us here, just stay seated until we come to a full stop. Gather your belongings, including lightsabers and astro blasters, and step carefully from the train. Thanks, and have fun in the future. For the rest of you, just sit tight. We'll be on our way again in just a minute.
Welcome to Tomorrowland Station, friends. Please remain seated as you come to the weekend full stop. We're looking for attractions such as Autopia, Space Mountain, Light Astro Blasters, Star Tours, Auto Monorail. This is your stop. If you are staying on board, please scoot all the way down to your right. Thank you for coming. Yes, if you're aboard, this will be a cool train. Thank you.
Oh, what is that?
And his car.
Welcome aboard, friends. Please remain seated while the train is in motion, keeping our arms, feet, and legs in sensitive times. Please supervise your children and keep them away from train openings. Next up is Main Street Station, but first we're going to a tunnel ahead. This is the Grand Canyon to Primeval World. Once you do enter that tunnel, please no flash photography or video lighting. Dim all lights always in cell phones as a courtesy to your fellow guests on board. Thank you.
To those who have just come aboard, welcome. The next leg of our journey will take us from the fantastic world of the future to the breathtaking beauty of nature's own design, the Grand Canyon. For your safety, stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. Watch your children and no flash photography.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Por favor, no tome fotografías con flash.
That was the Grand Canyon as we know it today. But it wasn't always this way. Now, let's travel back in time, way back in time, to the fantastic past of the primeval world, land of the dinosaurs. Now, let's travel back in time, way back in time, to the fantastic past of the primeval world, land of the dinosaurs. come to a full stop. Remember to gather all your personal belongings and step carefully from the train. I'd especially like to thank those of you who've been with me for the Grand Circle Tour of Disneyland. We hope you enjoyed your travels with us and that you'll come back to ride with us again real soon. For the
Welcome back to Main Street Station, friends. Please remain seated. The train comes to a complete and full stop. And as a reminder, this station only has a staircase, so keep all wheelchairs and exposed folded until you get to the bottom of the stairs.
Waiting for Mario to finish cooking.